Hello and welcome to the final bell. I am so excited that we are still going and still going strong. We are proudly presented by GMHBA, the official health insurance partner of the Geelong Cats. Meg McDonald's with me. I'm here, we're here, and I'm pumped because this is grand final week. We are not here reviewing a preliminary final loss. Instead,
unimaginable now, really, that would ever have happened.
Or maybe not so much at quarter time. There's a little bit of nerves going on at that stage. We will break down the game from Friday night against the Hawks. We will talk about the fantastic AFLW win. We're going to look forward to the grand final. Might talk a little bit of Brownlow. Plenty going on, Meg. This is great. This is wonderful.
Yeah, I know. I have hardly been in the club since. So what was it, Friday night? The W team, all of us were interstate for various reasons on Saturday, Sunday, Brownlow Monday, and now I'm walking into the cattery being like, let's go.
Oh, you are fresh off the Brownlow, aren't you?
I'm fresh off the Brownlow, guys.
Night.
Yep, I was there.
Feeling...
Yeah, I'll give you my review. Obviously I did not partake in the way that most of the room did, but it was a great experience, my first Brownlow, and we'll get to that later, I'm sure.
It's a long night though, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, I will just say, I think in our BNF night, at least the main course, I didn't realise your entire 3 courses happen before the vote card starts, and then you're just in it. So
you're in it and you're locked in the room
you're
too.
You're just locked in. Yeah, I didn't take your advice and get locked out because I thought, I don't know enough people here. I would just be one of those people on my phone in the hallway.
Out in the foyer.
Anyway.
But you're here because we are very, very excited.
Let's go.
Let's talk the prelim final first. It was built up as a classic rivalry, the Cats and the Hawks, and it certainly lived up to that. 99,597 people at the MCG, and I love, because of the contrast in the colours of the two teams, it stood out. Yeah. Hawke's Bay, Cats Bay.
So good. It's so good. Obviously, international sport does it so well, but we get to these big games and you can see them. You can see who's selling what tickets. And
there was lots and lots of Hawks fans, and they were feeling pretty good in that first quarter.
Yep.
They got the jump again on the Cats, and I'll be honest, I'm going to be a little brutal here.
Yeah.
We looked like we were playing really badly.
I know. I was on the couch at home, which was a pain in and of itself. I sort of last minute had to get up at 5 on Saturday morning. So I was like, do the right thing, watch from home. And I might have sent a few text messages along the lines of, this will be one of the great wins if we win, because we look nothing like it at the moment.
Missing targets, the composure wasn't there. And
the pressure, I was like, you remember how we won the qualifying
final? We were retreating, weren't we?
You got to press.
Yeah, and it probably speaks to the discussion, the debate that takes place around the one game in X amount of days when you pre-finals bye, you win the qualifying final, you have another week off. Great for resting, but sometimes can just take away a little bit of that sharpness. And that's what it looked like early on. And as you know, Meg, when you start that way, it's really hard to reverse that type of trend and to go, actually, we need to completely do the opposite of what we're doing right now.
Oh, it's not impossible. It seems impossible. It's something that my team and our competition, I think, is only just getting a handle on, and we have a much shorter game time. So they had time to turn it around, but the ability to do so is really impressive, and just speaks to how good the team is at the moment. Yeah,
and we're going to single out one person in particular, but it was a genuine team effort for the reversal in form, because I thought I'll probably exclude Tom Atkins from this one, because I thought Tom Atkins was our only genuine 4-quarter player. Yeah. Everybody else was pretty rusty, pretty quiet. You know, Max Holmes hadn't had much of the footy. Brian Myers hadn't had much of the footy. Sean Manor, some of his kicks were missing. He's one of the most beautiful kicks in the team. That was all scratchy, and then they were all able to flip it around.
Yep.
But they were led incredibly by Patrick Dangerfield. I have watched lots and lots of footy.
Yep.
You've watched lots and lots of
not
footy.
Not as much as you, but enough.
That was one of the truly special games and captain's games you will see in a final. His influence on everything that took place from quarter time onwards was off the charts.
I find it difficult to talk about without swearing and just being like, he's absolutely off the charts. Just outrageous behaviour, because the man's 30. I don't want to talk about his age because is it relevant, isn't it? But the brutality of the game, the brutality of how he plays it, And he's just like, guys, all good. Got my cape. I packed my cape. Here we go.
And it was pure influence too, which I love. You and I talk often about what the players that we love to watch, but also the importance of the players. And you know what? Amid, who goes and racks up a few little chip sideways touches in the back half, whatever. You're not going to fool me with that. But a player who can win forward half possessions and influence with those, they are the ones that are worth gold. All of Paddy's disposals were either from the centre square, so the back of the centre square forward. So there was not a single touch, just, I'm going to go back and get a little handball around the back deep in defence just to get my numbers going.
I think he'd be the first to admit that that's not where he's needed. You know, you sort of accept that he's in, and he spoke in the post game about how the inside mids have been getting done for the entire year, and he sort of gave them credit while he was saying, and at a certain point I have the sort of license to be like, I'm going in there and I'll have more centre bounce clearances than the opposition in total. I just love his ability. There's the ground balls, there's all the stuff we laud him about. His like aerial prowess in a we need to just get some field position, advance the ball down the wing. He finds himself in a one-on-one. He's like, yep, kick it to me, boys. We'll get another 40 here because I'll just clunk it. And then, my oppo's gone to ground, wheel and go, drive it forward. And 3 goals.
Yeah. Producer Jakey, who does our wonderful work here at the Cats, has got this one. Only player in history to record 30-plus disposals, 20-plus contested possessions and 3 goals in a final, and gets the 10 votes in the Gary Ayres Award, which he won in 2022. So
would the umps have given him 3 if it was a... No, I can't say that.
Yes, man. Hold that one.
But speaking of the Brownlow, I was sitting next to Hulk last night and he was saying, I'll have to check this, that he hadn't had over 30 since like 2019, or 2 years. I thought he said 2019. I was like, that's outrageous. But yeah, it's not like, that's 1 in 5 performances this year. He's really pulled that one out.
Yeah. Phenomenal, Patrick.
And it sits on him so well. Like he's just there being like, oh yeah, no worries.
I love the fact that he still played, we're talking about total influence on a game, but it wasn't one where he's like, oh, hang on, I have to do it all. He still had the trust in everybody else, which is, I think, the big part of his maturity and development in 2022 and that phenomenal final series he had. The trust in the teammates. I don't have to do everything. But when the ball is in my area, my region, I'm going to do anything I can to help the team. And he certainly did that. We mentioned the fact that, I mentioned, that a couple of the players were pretty down in the first quarter to then turn themselves out of that and have big influence. Graham Myers was superb for the rest of the game, ends up with 27 touches and 4 goal assists. Sean Manor had really important moments. Max Holmes really got rolling in a massive last 3 quarters.
And that's no mean feat from Max. I'm sure if you're starting, he didn't have a great first quarter and prelims have been a rough time for him. So to rise above and get it done speaks to some serious maturity.
Yeah, absolutely. Throw in the fact that we did lose the great Tom Stewart, unfortunately, which I know we'll touch on in a sec with the fact he's going to miss the grand final, but too early on in a prelim final when it's not going well for starters anyway, and then Stewart goes down, you use the word maturity and composure with the way we handle it, is to then go, okay, that's all right, we'll just have to adjust. And somebody else will do that role, somebody else will do that role, and let's calmly work our way through it. That was impressive.
Yeah, really impressive. And particularly because it was in a part of the ground where we were getting beat. Well, we were getting beat all over the ground, but it was clear that we were rolling back in defence too much. And we played the extra, or we sort of... Does Stewie plan a player, does he not? You know, it depends how you look at the game. But that had been so effective in the qualifying final. Then we're sort of finding ourselves with +3 at times behind the ball and being sort of null and void from then on. And we speak about Stewie. I think in the first quarter, when it had happened to Stewie, at that stage we weren't sure how Jack Henry was going to go. What a hero. I mean, getting back, I don't know.
I thought he was gone, the way he landed.
He couldn't even walk.
Yeah.
Who knows what happened, but that was truly heroic to get back out there because I know he was then... limited in his agility for the rest of the game, and it was getting highlighted a bit that Gunston was starting to get the ball, but it's better than being down your 2 best defenders. So Zach Guthrie got back up in the game. I think they moved that spare closer to the stoppage, and we got going.
And the two young guys, I still class Sammy De Koning as a young guy, but Sammy and Connor O'Sullivan, to think, okay, Mitch Lewis is getting a hold of, whichever the combination was, probably more Connor early on, but Mitch Lewis is going well, and Stewart's down to go, hey, I'm not going to let this turn into a horror day, and Mitch Lewis kicks 6 or 7. I'll fight my way through it. I'll get myself back into the contest, and had some really important moments. I thought that was fantastic. Again, Meg, I marvel, you marvel. I think we all do, about a guy who's done everything in his career. He's played every position that is imaginable. I probably underappreciated how big a man Lloyd Meek is for the Hawks. And
mate, he's a monster.
Yeah,
I've been in the Hawthorn Rooms post-game for some radio, and I looked at him. I was like, you're a monster.
And to think that Mark Blitzarves is wrestling with him and jumping and running and doing everything. How many centre
clearances off his own? But he had four clearances or something, maybe not centre, but...
he was amazing, and it probably leads a little bit into a conversation, and we're going to do the preview of the grand final soon, into what the Cats do with who may or may not come in. There's clearly one spot available with Tom Stewart's absence. But Blitz's 2 performances in the ruck in both the qualifying final and preliminary final have been off the charts.
I'm sure we'll get to it in the preview, but I think every single person at this level, and particularly at this stage of the finals, is competitive. You don't play the sport if you don't have that, a big tick next to your name for that. But I look at him, I'm like, he's as possessed as anyone. Like, we speak about how, danger, you can't even, communicate with danger when he's in that state. But Blitz is he's so desperate to win. It's so exciting. And speaking about preview, I'd love him to get a BOG next week. How good would that be?
Absolutely. Well,
but please don't... Oh, sorry.
It's funny, producer Jakey's just posed this as a question for a talking point. Yeah. Right, but it actually has got my mind racing a little bit. Where will Blitz finish his career in all-time Cat conversations? You could be forgiven for just dismissing that and go, oh, come on, there's Ablett Senior and Ablett Junior, and then there's Selwood, and then there's Hawkins, and then there's Dangerfield. And you could just go, oh, come on, knock him down the list a bit. But you're not knocking him down the list too much further than that. And it's not just hyperbole now because we're in the present with him, but he has done it all. He's multiple best and fairest winner, all Australian.
2 BNFs, all Australian, hopefully 2 premierships by the end of the weekend. He'll play his 300th next year, off a late start. I mean, he's only missed... I remember when he did his 250th. He's hardly missed any game since beginning.
Winger, key forward,
he's revolutionised the game.
Mid.
Yeah.
Tagger.
Ultimate first magnet on every week. I'm looking at Weddle and being like, that's what you're trying to be.
Yeah.
You're not there yet, but if you manage it, good job. Now, I don't want you to scoot over the player just on the second last point there, because he was my tip for a big game last week for Tice. And I was like, yes, thank you, mate. Appreciate you.
He looked clean and sharp.
He looked clean and, he was on.
And in a game where it seemed at times as though Jez was terrific, but was going to fight hard for every mark. The Barras and Battle combination on Shannon and Jez was pretty good, like really fascinating matchups. I thought Shannon launched at the ball really well and could have got another one where it was a Dangerfield free kick, but they launched well. But the fact that they were outstanding contests and fighting hard to make sure Sicily didn't intercept, the ball was going to live on the ground in that forward 50. So who could be? Was it going to be Watson, Ginnivan, Moore up one end, or was it going to be Stengel, Close, Manor, etc., Myers in the Geelong? And it was Stengel with that just extra bit of polish.
Yeah, he kicked it through the big sticks, which is what counts. He was up for it, and I think I say it every week. The man is not a big guy. And you're in that finals footy contest. I'm sure he's in vulnerable positions a lot of the time, but he puts his head over it and he gets it done.
Yeah.
How you would have liked the when they put Watson back on Brad Close and they went to that one-on-one straight. I was like, I love this. This is so good.
We were on it. So I was working on the game for radio.
Yeah.
And we said, they're trying to put Watson behind the ball. First chance you get, kick it to that matchup in a one-on-one contest. And you say it, you're kind of like, gee, I hope I haven't just made a stupid comment, because then Watson runs off and kicks a goal from 50 and Brad bodied him. It's like, yes,
loves it.
Good boy.
45 represent. Doing me a solid.
The the atmosphere around the game was unbelievable. So I travelled up with my family, Nicole and the boys. We then parted ways, and I said, I'm working this one on the chance that the Cats win. I don't have to work the grand final. And so she had the boys. I did get a text or two through the first quarter about perhaps things weren't going well with both the game and the kids. They were getting a little upset. At 3/4 time, I then text Nicole saying, hey, I've just checked the radar because I knew their seats were not undercover. Yeah. I said, it's about to get torrential rain. Yeah. I know we didn't bring raincoats for the kids. I don't know, maybe try and find somewhere. She wrote back saying, I don't care. This is the greatest night ever.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
We're going to get drenched. This is going to be so fun.
I thought you were going to say, all good. We've got it in the bag. We've headed home. We'll see you next week. Right.
No, I didn't want her to take the car.
I held off on we're going to a granny text, and then they came back a bit. And then when we kicked away again, I think Georgie Rankin sent me something and I sent back, basically, she was like, how good's this? I said, we're so good at football. and then they kicked another few, but held them at bay. It was great.
Absolutely. Speaking about being so good at football, and you mentioned Georgie Rankin there, the AFLW, a thrilling win, a gritty win, a 5-point victory over Port Adelaide. You showed me that last free kick, maybe a smidge on the lucky side of things with the win, but a win nonetheless.
A win nonetheless. It was a rough watch from the recovery pools in Sydney. There were 5 of us up there having played the scratch match, and it was a tight last quarter. And it's tough when you can see on the broadcast that the conditions they're not great. So scoring's going to be hard. That free kick that you speak about, I think there was still 7 minutes to go. So they held them off for a long time. Nina's highlighted here, 2 goals, 18 touches, 9 tackles. Michaela Bowen had 25 touches, 9 tackles and a goal. She's playing at half forward and is up in our leading possession getters each week. So she's
in brilliant form, isn't she?
Yeah, and she's playing high forward and playing like 97% game time. Like, it's ridiculous, her running power at the moment.
Did you see that over pre-season? Was she running times that were...
Yeah, I mean, she's always had that, but I probably didn't know she didn't need the rest, you know. I guess in pre-season you're doing these efforts and then you do an effort for 3 to 5 minutes and then you stop and you go again. You think, oh yeah, Bo's running well. But no, she's just got... And she's just really locked in her want for the team to have success at the moment, as we all are. So big influence. A couple of injuries out of the game, which was a bit unfortunate. A tackle saw Emma Kilpatrick end up with concussion. So she was at home in Adelaide. So that was sad for her. I think it's her first experience of that. So unfortunately she'll miss on Thursday night. And I think Julia Crockett-Grills didn't finish the game out. So a tough win. I was keen to sense the mood from the team. Apparently it was sweet relief, joyous on the ground, got back in the rooms, Jakey's nodding, and it was glad we won that game.
Yeah. Still lots to learn from the game.
Still lots to learn, still an ability that, you know, to finish our work would be good. I think we had some chances in the first quarter, but watch out, Hawks. Two Cats v Hawks in a week.
Yes,
we love it.
Yes, we are a Pro Cats podcast, of course, so we can say that we want to just get a little bit more pain Hawthorn's way. Thursday night's a quick turnaround for the girls. So obviously lots of recovery this week. The game is here at GMHBA Stadium on Thursday night, 7:15 p.m. I'll be here as part of the coverage. I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully calling Meg McDonald's name. I'm very excited. Match committee might be tonight, Lingy, so you just get in there. Pop the podcast out nice and early, please, Jakey. Yeah. Now, we have got some amazing, exciting news because I know lots and lots of Cats fans listening right now. Some will have got grand final tickets in the ballot. Some will have missed out. It's unfortunate. There should be more tickets available to the competing teams. I get that. But we are so pumped about this. If you come to the AFLW game on Thursday night, you can be in the running to win 2 tickets to the 2025 Toyota AFL Grand Final. So your ticket for Thursday night's game, Geelong versus Hawthorn AFLW, will go into the draw to win those 2 tickets. You're going to have a sellout here, packed house. We're going to have a sellout. We're going to have a sellout and a great couple of days altogether. Let me tell you, being able to go to the 1-2 is unreal. So... look, who knows how many you'll be one in insert X number of thousand, but
get here, get in your chance to win, but also to watch a great game of footy. Many said that our game of footy last year against the Hawks was the best W game they'd seen of the year. As I think we've discussed, I was getting sick of hearing that because we lost the game. But ready to rewrite it on Thursday night.
I love that.
And let's go. I mean, Sydney, 7,000 people.
Okay. Producer Jakey's just giving us some info. So on those 2 tickets, they will actually draw the tickets, the winning ticket, at 3/4 time. So it's going to be like the old when you used to come here and they'd have the little cheer squad raffle and they'd walk around with the winning ticket number around the boundary.
Brilliant.
Not quite exactly the same as that, but that sort of vibe. At 3/4 time.
Love it.
2 tickets to the 2025 Toyota AFL Grand Final.
What I was going to say about Sydney was they had 7,000 people there at the game on the way. They're breaking records. Love it for the game. Come on, we're better than Sydney.
Yeah, come on. Let's get way more than 7,000 there on Thursday night. It's school holidays as well. Don't worry about the kids having to get up early for school the next day.
You yourself have a public holiday the next day.
It's a public holiday as well, yeah. So get here, get in that draw, win yourself those tickets, and just enjoy a terrific game of footy. The rivalry continues between the Cats and the Hawks. A bit of other information before we take a break, Megan, then look forward to the grand final. The March to the G is on again. You can be part of the mighty Blue and White Army as we storm the G ahead of the grand final. So meet at Fed Square from 11 a.m, join the march and help cheer on our Cats to victory. And Meg, I know.
My favourite.
Yes, so there's been a bit of blue and white around town.
Hasn't there? I drove past some on, what street was I on? Well, it doesn't matter. Every street's got it going at the moment. But yes, remember, Show Your Colours presented by Dulux. Paint the town blue and white this September and submit your photos and or videos showing your colours via our finals hub. If you'd been holding off committing until we were in the granny, now's the time.
Let loose now.
Let loose.
Put up posters, put up scarves, put up streamers, put up flags, anything you want.
I saw this thing on, I think it was at the Philly Eagle, like Travis Kelce's wife's podcast anyway. I think they were talking about how the universal greeting in Philly is Go Birds. I was like, we need Go Cats to just mean all manner of things this next 7 days. Good morning, Go Cats.
Yeah.
Open the door for you, Go Cats.
And I think any non-Cat supporter around town, you're just going to be tortured for a few days. That's fine.
Well, don't fight it anymore. Get on board.
Jump on. Absolutely. Speaking of jumping on too, 2026 memberships are available for purchase now. Head to membership.geelongcats.com.au to sign up for next year. Get in nice and early while we're excited, while we're pumped. We are, but let's take a break because then let's talk a bit of Brownlow and, of course, the grand final on Saturday.
Winning a three-peat isn't easy, but at GMHBA Health Insurance, that's exactly what we've done. By winning the 2024 CanStar Outstanding Value Hospital cover in Victoria 3 years running.
GMHBA have been caring for the Geelong community since 1934 and are proud supporters of the mighty Geelong Cats. Join at gmhba.com.au. Welcome
back to the Final Bell, proudly presented by GMHBA, the official health insurance partner of the Geelong Cats.
Now, before we get into the next bit, I can't sit with, did I say Travis? It's Jason, right? Kelsey.
Yeah, so Travis Kelsey's Taylor's fiancé, but
and I
Jason's
know how many
the Philly
Swifties
player.
listen to the Final Bell. Apologies, guys.
But Jason and Travis are often on together.
Yes, and it's Jason's wife that has the pod. What's her name? Anyway, guys, sorry, that was just an aside. Back to the health update.
That's good. Let's hold the health update because I want to get some Brownlow. I want to get some Brownlow insight.
Yes.
Obviously, congratulations to Matty Rowell on a terrific victory.
Yes.
Congratulations to Nick Dacos again on the season he had.
Yep.
An amazing season. Bailey Smith was polled really well, fantastically well, was in the running. Obviously finished in the top 3, third place with 29 votes. We've got here Jez with his highest polling year ever.
Votes.
With 20. Yeah, somebody put out there at the halfway mark, Matty Rowell was on 20 votes and said, this is the annual reminder that Gavin Wanganeen won with 18 votes.
That's crazy, yeah.
So obviously voting has gone up a bit. Georgie Stevens even got a vote.
Yes.
Well done, George.
The table was excited by that.
What was it like in the room?
Yeah, it was great. I was probably a bit taken by the the extent of the red carpet, which began at the sort of valet parking and went all the way up to the doors. So I tried to sneak through there. The room was great. We were sort of off to the side. My invite was last minute. I went along with Grant McCabe, our president, who asked me last week, which was lovely. It sent me into a little panic, considering mid-season and getting ready, but very special to be there. Everyone looked great, and it was probably a bit more relaxed than I thought. Obviously, it's relaxed for the players that are not competing on the weekend, but it's like a lot of Crown Palladium events. Big stage, big screen, everyone enjoying themselves, great food.
I did enjoy, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I don't mind if producer Jake cuts this out because we're not allowed to say things like this, but I did enjoy the reaction of the room when Nasiah Wanganeen-Miller did not get the 3 votes. He got the 2 votes in that St Kilda Melbourne game where
Naz was here to that corner away from us, and it was funny.
And he played one of the best games you will see ever. Not just the last minute where he single-handedly won the game. His entire game was phenomenal, and the reaction was good because it probably just it shone a light on the fact. Hey,
it was good for them. I love the reaction from the Melbourne players too. They were equally out. I think
Jack
really
Viney was the man who got the 3.
Yeah, I know. What I see today. The post 7 8. Yeah, it was great. It was great.
One little stat that came out of it from a Cats perspective: Patrick Dangerfield now has the most 3-vote games of all time. 56 3-vote games. And am I correct, producer Jake, in saying he surpassed Gary Ablett Jr.? Yes. 4 more for total votes. So he needs 4 more votes in his career to go past Gaz for all-time votes. He'll do that next year when he continues to play on.
Yeah.
There's no chance of Danger continuing the recent tradition of if the Cats get up. It's been Harley, myself and Selwood. Danger's
I gave
playing.
that recent tradition a shout out on a footy show I was on the weekend. I was like, get around it.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen.
No, I think Danger's got about another 5 years in him the way he's going. So
how sore. I look at him, I'm like, does it not? Is the armour impenetrable, or do you wake up on Saturday just unable to move?
I think
it'd be pretty sore.
Little of both.
Yeah.
Seems impenetrable, but Saturday morning after the game on Friday night, he would be very, very sore. Yeah. Speaking of sore, or unfortunately not well enough to play, given the concussion protocols, and absolutely should be the case with the fact that we do need to protect the head and the brains of these players. It opens up a whole other debate around buys and things like that.
Yeah.
Let's not jump into that. The health update is Tom Stewart will miss the grand final.
Yeah.
Absolutely devastating for a person who is such a great player, such an important leader, such a great person within this team. For him to do that, but knowing him, he will not let others see how much he's hurting internally. Yeah. He will continue to be the incredible leader that he is. He will help the defenders prepare for Saturday's game and understand the opposition forwards and what might happen. So he will miss, sadly. It means there's a spot open in the team.
It does. It was almost too upsetting to speak about during the game when it was happening, and I really feel for Stewie. I thought his words when he did an Instagram post, I think yesterday or the day before, addressing it was beautifully said. But mainly it's not his first concussion, so we just hope that he's okay in the long term and isn't battling too many symptoms this week and can do it, as you say, and support the team in whatever way he's able. It would seem to me that Reece is ready to go, that it would allow Blitz to roll back. That would seem the easy choice. But as you said earlier in the pod, not so easy when Blitz is doing what he's doing in the ruck. Yeah,
and I don't think it's necessary to have Blitz roll back immediately.
Yep.
I'm like you, Meg. I would assume Reece comes in more for the flexibility it then allows Blitzarves to have.
Yeah.
So I would back in Sam de Koning and Connor O'Sullivan and Jack Henry with the support of Zach and et cetera. Mark O'Connor's playing so well. They would be how I would start things, which means Blitz can
go on the wing.
Can he go on the wing? Can he play forward like he did and stretch them a little bit and have them thinking, oh, hang on, Harris Andrews, what do I go to Shannon Neal or do I go to Blitz and what it might be? And the ability to roll straight into the ruck, especially if anything should happen with Reece. So that it feels like it adds flexibility. The other people potentially to put up their hands would be a Jed Buse, come in as a defender like for like with Tom Stewart, slightly more smaller defender.
He's come home strong late in recent years. He was in that last year's grand final campaign, or finals campaign, after some form in the back end of the year. So that's certainly an option. I know everyone's out there training hard on just to keep the team ready to go.
Yeah, so there'll be a bit of discussion around that. Obviously, that'll play out in the next couple of days. As far as the health update goes, we understand Reece Stanley is fine for selection, was actually pretty close for the preliminary final, but maybe just needed an extra box or two to tick. So that's exciting.
And we didn't shout out Jai Clark in our first thing. He was great, wasn't he?
Yeah, I thought
Big job.
Big job. Come in early and then have really big responsibility. Play down back at times on dangerous players, and then spent genuine quality midfield minutes and seemed really clean, comfortable. The quick hands to Shawnee Manor. Not a bad goal from Shawnee. If he's in the grand final team, great prep to know. You don't want to go in, I assume, to a granny thinking I've played 10 minutes in the last 2 finals. He's now, whenever he comes on, whether he starts on, whether he's sub again, he's ready to go. He knows he can do it. Well, let's look to the grand final now, Meg. Obviously, I don't even need to ask our tip for who's going to win because we're both going to say the Cats. This is 100% biased. But given the way the Cats played in the qualifying final against Brisbane, given the form they were able to eventually get in the prelim, they are well prepped, primed and ready to go, and give themselves the best possible chance. It feel obviously Tom Stewart is the one big out, but it feels like otherwise there's contributions from so many that they seem to be fit, healthy, and covering the ground really well.
Fit, healthy, happy. I think that the mood is great. The mood around the guys' table last night was very relaxed. They're excited to be back, and I think they're ready to just have a good big game on Saturday. I get a bit superstitions isn't the word, but you think, could it have gone more right in the qualifying final? I don't know. Umpiring aside, probably not. Do you rinse and repeat strategically, or do you change it up?
No, I think you still go pretty similar to what happened because it worked really well. But and I think this is the beauty of this group, is you have flexibility up your sleeve straight away. So let's just, for hypothetical sake, talk about Oisin Mullen going to Hugh McCluggage. Now, if McCluggage plays like he did on Saturday and lights up in the first quarter, okay, let's be flexible. Do we keep sticking with Oisin just because it worked in the qualifying, but it's not working right now? So let's rotate that and let's send Osh to somebody who's dangerous forward, maybe to Zach Bailey who's coming up, and then let's have somebody else with McCluggage. We throw a second thing at Hugh, and so I think you go in pretty similar, but the players would know, okay, we might also try this or we might also try that. Yeah,
I'm sure if Mark goes to Rayner, they're not just going to stand 1v1 in the goal score again. I don't think that worked well for the Cats. So I think assume he'll manage that differently if it is Mark that goes there again. But as you're saying with Osh, how about his job on Watson? Like he's putting people to sleep. It's amazing. And
the adaptability to go. You're going from, and he's played predominantly midfield late in the season, and certainly in that first final, to then go, oh, by the way, go play deep defence against a really dangerous. And shout out to Nick Watson. That goal was something off the charts.
It was probably that moment I was like, I don't know if we're going to win. Because when stuff like that starts happening, you think, oh no. Yes. Outrageous goal. But I think his speed is not enough. People speak about his conscientiousness and his determination, but you can only do that if you're as physically developed as he is. His speed's unbelievable. His strength's unbelievable. And he's got a really happy smile, which we love to see. I love when he just, something happens on the ground, he's just, out comes the Irish mouth guard, and he's just having a laugh. I love it.
Love that. Absolutely love that. It does set up, in my eyes, the two best teams of the competition. Yep. I've felt that going into the qualifying final. Brisbane Lions, 3 grand finals in a row now. Yep. Big credit to them. Going for back-to-back premierships. Chris Fagan's clearly a wonderful coach. If you cast your mind back to the time where Brisbane were, I can't retain any players. How's things going? What happened to that? He has done a superb job. They are a wonderful footy team. So to beat them, we're going to have to be at our very, very best. But I trust that can happen and will happen. One tip I am going to get from you, not the tip of the game, but a Norm Smith medal, if you could. Who are you thinking? You mentioned Mark Blicavs a little bit before.
I did. Who would I love to see get it? I'd love to see Axe get it.
Yes.
I don't know if that's the kind of game that gets rewarded. So many half. But I mean, obviously my tip was... I was going to go Stewie. Are you going to go Zach?
No, I was going to go...
I'll go Zach Guthrie.
Okay. I was going to go number 9.
Number 9, yeah. I mean... He started getting votes late last night. It was good. But I also thought at the end of the prelim final, could the skipper go 3/4 earlier than Stevie and just call himself Norm from now? Like, he's just like, no, obviously, I'm going to go get it done.
Yes. No, I like that one. Their matchups on our forwards will be fascinating. Who goes to Dangerfield? Who goes to Jez? All of that.
Blitz if he's there.
It's going to be a brilliant game of footy. Meg, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I have to do... Going up as a whole family, we got tickets in the ballot. We're way up the back. We're in the nosebleeds, but it does not matter because we are there. So I'm not complaining with that. I have to do a pre-game show for Channel 7.
Yeah.
I clock off at 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to turn into full supporter mode and just go crazy. I will scream myself hoarse like all Geelong supporters will. Meg, are we doing this next week regardless?
Producer Jake says yes.
Yes, it is. So we will be here.
We're feeling, regardless, I mean.
We will be here next week. We will front up regardless, but let's hope we front up with giant smiles on our face.
Let's go.
Enjoy the day, Meg. Enjoy Thursday night.
Thank you. Go Cats.
Yes, can't wait. See you then.